looking forward to getting into your music, to getting into the new album, Air with Layers, Your Life and Music. So thank you for taking a minute out.
No problem. It's my pleasure, man.
So let's begin our journey with this. I always ask this question. 6 years ago, this pandemic was changing so much about the way we lived and did things. How did you get through the coronavirus era, and how has it changed and influenced the way that you create and do things today?
Oh man, that was a deep question though. I was like 6 years ago. I was still in high school,
Yeah.
so my music education didn't really started after I went to Berklee. So it's really like the impact is really like just as similar as others, but one difference is that I feels like if you ask other artists such question, they might think like, oh, it encouraged me to like create more arts or something like that.
Yeah.
But my question wasn't that interesting because like I wasn't even thinking of creating something.
Yeah.
Back in my high school days, I was just playing games and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was actually okay. I have to be honest about that. Um, Look back 6 years ago myself during the pandemic. Um, Somewhere deep inside of myself, I was even like a little bit like happy about it because I don't have to go to school.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I
Because
get
I
it.
was still a kid, thinking of like Zhengtao, the kid version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't have to go to school. I can play games while people are giving lectures because they will not notice me on Zoom.
Uh-huh.
I can turn on my cameras. No one gonna
Yeah.
So it's really
Yeah. I totally get it. But there was a part of me during that time when I was interviewing, musicians that range from Joe Lovano all the way
oh
down to
yeah.
local cats in Kansas City. There was this fear, I think, or this idea that I had that a lot of cats were going to start leaving big cities that were in college or that were starting to get in this community because jazz isn't something that you get into because you're going to make a lot of money.
Oh
And
yeah, for sure.
I figured that that might scare people off, but it seems like the scene and young players are more voluminous than ever in the world of jazz.
I feels like so if you're just talking about the pandemic itself, that's the obvious answer I can give you.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I really started to making art as an artist after I went to Berklee, I figured out it's really about the post-pandemic thing.
Yeah.
Like you really started to reflect uh, your life, like for 18 years.
Yeah.
Like 18 years of your life, you're trying to capture some of the memories and make it as music or something like that. It's really when it's scientifically proved. Like when people get to the age of 20 or something, it's really their brain got more like mature,
Yeah.
so they have more ability to think and making like a critical and individual decision. And it's really the point that like post pandemic, I started to reflect like, why was I behave like that when I was 16 years old? Why was I encounter such thing when I was 14 years old?
Yeah.
Why my mom said something to me when I was like 8 or something? It's kind of like that. You're starting to reflect things by yourself during the post-pandemic period, and I think that kind of is like the answer of like why. Uh, I know it's not just me, but there are a lot of like young artists. They are like thriving there because they're at the age of like trying to reflect something that they've done in the past and make it into art. You know.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So before we get into Air with Layers, I want to begin with this. Take me back to your beginnings. What were the artistic seeds, the musical seeds that were planted that's been harvested into your pursuit and your career that you have now?
Oh, for sure. It was definitely because I wasn't the um good student like in a normal way, like a normal way people in back in my hometown China, they expect you to get an A on mathematics or like chemistry or something. And I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I just don't want to, like, I didn't know what I want to do. But the only thing that I know is that I don't want to do anything on the textbook.
Yeah.
So I started to play game. I told you I play a lot of games, but
Yeah.
like what really influenced me at very first is really the music in the game. It was like at Berklee when I went to Berklee, and there is some like student club. It's like game music club or something. They were just playing Mario Kart music.
Yeah.
Like they were literally just playing the music from the game that I was
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time I was actually hearing it, like without being distracted by my like playing, you know. And then I noticed that, man, it's good music. And then I revisited, not as a game player, but I really just listened to the soundtrack. I bought all the like, I know quite old school, right? But I bought like vinyl CDs,
Yeah.
and so I just put them into the CD players. I listened to that and I was like, this is something good.
Yeah.
And then I revisit these games that I played during high school or middle school. While I was playing it, I really noticed how the music can influence your decision making during your game playing.
Yeah.
And that's really what fascinated me about music or like jazz. At first, it's not really like I attended a jam session or something. It's just Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah.
You know, it's interesting. When I was 16, my big gift that year, I remember I got the first Nintendo system was Super Mario Brothers. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember, that like way, way back in like 89, I got it. And
Uh-huh.
I saw the other day a viral clip of somebody doing that dun 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 da dun da dun, and they were playing like you talked about, and
Yeah.
everybody it became this viral moment. Everybody freaked out, and then this week, just out of pure chance, I highlighted a French composer named Laurent Zilani, and he did the soundtrack to Resident Evil 6 and did all of this other stuff. And he is like high major league top shelf jazz musician. And you're right, all of this music and this modern video gaming that we're in right now, there's like major people that are getting hired to orchestrate all of these sounds. So no wonder why by osmosis, whether it's in the background in your subconscious or consciously, it's going into your head,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
So when did you decide? What was the moment that you decided I'm going to pursue music?
Oh, it's definitely not the first year of Berkeley. It's
Okay.
definitely around like close to my senior years, I should say,
Yeah.
because is um, Berkeley is a really accessible school. If you can play an instrument, like in a like very like entry level, you can be admitted. So it's like during like I was part of that, like just because I can play a little bit of the instrument, so I was admitted to Berkeley. It's not because I'm a very like virtuosic like child like prodigy or something, you know. So after I went to Berkeley, I met some classmates or like and they're like famous on the internet or whatever. Like everyone's so good. Everyone's so good.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone's so good except for me. I have that, I have that kind of feeling of it. Cause like someone can play bass really good, someone can play piano really good, someone can compose really good, someone got like 1 million followers on Instagram or something, you know, and it's really like a lot of self doubt about like whether I can make it as an artist, because I used not to make anything, like I used not to. I got a lot of F, I got a lot of like D on my high school or middle school, so I have this kind of tendency like assuming myself there's a future that I'm working as whatever, but not a musician,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But really, is like during the last year, around the last year of my Berkeley study, I met like two persons that really changed my life. You might heard their name, Stephen Feifke.
Yeah.
He's a
He's
pianist.
wonderful. Yeah.
Man, can you imagine like he's the first professor that can remember my name?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a Japanese composer, her name is Miho Hazama.
Yeah. She's wonderful. She's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy
and
good. Yeah.
I kind of like I was very fortunate to study with them.
Yeah.
Uh, Not just at Berkeley, but like privately, and they were really like, because as a Chinese, okay, I'm foreigner to this country. When I started to learn the culture of America or like American university, actually there are a lot of people who's saying a lot of good things. Like, hey man, you sounds good. Hey man, I love your composition. Ah, your music. And and about a few years later, I realized that they're just being polite.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not like they don't like my music or like they hate me or something.
Yeah.
It's more of like, how are you today, or like, what are you doing today? You know, something like that. It's more like a politeness because they say it to everyone else. You know,
Yeah.
but really like when I met someone who's more critical about my music. Also, a lot of encouragement is Steven and Miho. And that's like what changed my life because I went to their concert
Yeah.
and I heard their music and I was like, you can have such a personality that you don't have to be like able to, let's say, play Cherokee in 350 BPM or something
Yeah.
to survive or like to make it as an artist.
Yeah.
Because at Berklee, people are like really more like a technical side. Like people like to play odd meters, you know, like hard music, like 12 tone stuff, which is good, which is fine. But really, like when I went to their concert, I heard individualism. Like no matter what they do, it sounds like Steven, it sounds like Miho.
Yeah.
And then I went to the backstage. I talked to Miho. I was like, how could a music sound like that? You know, something like that. And she told me you can just be yourself.
Yeah.
And I asked her, how do I be myself? You know, because I'm not good at anything. She said, that's also part of yourself. And I was like, you know, very philosophical conversation.
Yeah. Totally.
You know, I say, Miho, I was so anxious. I don't know where I can make it. She said, if you're anxious, you should write music. I said, oh, Miho, I'm so upset about other people like being so good at it. I have to, and she said, if you're upset, you should write music.
Yeah.
Steven said the same thing, and I was like, you know, I was blown away by that, like, because I never heard someone saying that.
Yeah.
So that's really what got me into jazz. You know, it's really like words of encouragement. You know,
Hmm.
in a critical way, not
Sure.
like, you know, in a polite
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. No, totally. I totally get it. So who were some players, some albums, shows that you saw when you really started getting into jazz? What were some people you were going after?
Oh man, that's good. It's really the first concert I saw is Maria Schneider.
Wow.
Is that crazy? Like
That's high
I
class.
just
Yeah.
yeah, I just went to I remember I took a bus. Like that bus was famous. I can't remember the name. That bus was like Chinese company. It's super cheap, you
Yeah.
know. Like it was a transition bus from Boston to like New York City. It's like $20 or something. And the
Yeah.
driver was
Yeah.
like over speed all the time. I saw him, yeah, I saw him dying, man. I was like, I can't
Yeah.
make it. You know, that bus, I don't remember the name, but you know, and I took that bus to New York City to Berklee and I watched Maria Schneider's concert.
Wow.
And that's the first concert. I stayed in New York for a couple days. I watched what is that called? Besides Maria Schneider, a Village Vanguard Jazz Orchestra.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also went to Kenny Garrett. Kenny
Uh-huh.
Garrett.
Yeah.
You know, and I went back to Boston. That's my first jazz concert experience, and really blows up my mind, man.
Yeah.
You know.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
talk to me about Air with Layers. What was your vision? What was kind of your idea going into this? And how does it feel? How does this album feel to you now that it's ready to roll?
Oh yeah, sure, sure. It's the sketch of these tunes are actually my like composition major. You have to compose like some like graduation portfolio stuff. Like these sketches coming from my portfolio, but they were not. They didn't pass.
Yeah.
Like they didn't pass the evaluation
Yeah.
because it's like in a way of like too traditional or like too melodic. That's not really the contemporary music want, you know. So I revisit these sketches last year. I was like, I can't just leave them in my laptop forever, and wait until my like I pass away, somebody dig it or something. No, it's not gonna happen, you know. So I really think I really thought about it. I really thought about it until I took the one I had a field trip with my friend to what's that called? Oh, San Francisco, San Francisco,
Yeah.
and it was a long flight because it's like from like a New York to like a you know this side to that side. It took like 6 hours, and turns out they don't have like Wi-Fi on the plane. So I don't know what should I do. So you know, me and my friend just like watching outside of like windows, like just clouds. And this album, I know this sounds a little bit like funny, but it really came out that way. It's like because I'm not that educated. I look outside and there are clouds, and I asked my friend. My friend is not a musician. My friend is like a physics major or something. He's super good. And I asked him, it's like, why these clouds has different layers? You know, it's like a 3-year-old question. You know, because it's beautiful. It's like these clouds are like some are thicker and some of them are thinner. You know, and some of them you barely see them in a weird shape or something. You know, and he started to explain it to me, and somehow I couldn't understand because like he's using too many scientific terms. But I enjoy his explanation because the way he talk is like we're not from the same country, and we English is not our first language. So when we talk in most of the times we will be like stop a little bit, hesitate a little bit, trying to figure out the right word. So every time he trying to explain with me, it's kind of like he trying to spell the scientific terms, and in that way he has a lot of like stopping points in the middle, like a lot of silence, like this cloud is separated because Google Translate
Yeah.
blah 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 blah, and you know blah blah blah, and it's really fascinating because that's how this album sounds like. Like there are a lot of silent moment, a lot of like pause, a lot of like a free tempo or like rubato. It is because of the not just because of the flow of these winds or clouds. It's also because of like I heard people talk in an interesting way in a real life if they don't speak that language quite well. And it's like when you're trying to listen to someone, you're trying to be a good listener. And I found out the beauty of it is like that person who's trying to talk to you is thinking seriously. And the outcome is like he or she or they made a lot of pauses. And these pauses are not like mistakes or something. It's just a part of his expression. He's trying to figure out something with you together.
Yeah.
And the outcome to me, it's really fascinating because I never, you know, it's kind of like a trigger for me to write this album.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like how people talk, but the real trigger is that clouds thing. You know, that's why it's
Yeah.
called air with layers.
Yeah.
You know, you know, yeah.
Yeah, totally. I get it. So let me ask you this. What are you ultimately hoping the listener gets from this album? What do you want them to get?
Oh, definitely. I hope they can. I hope they can at least call back some of the melodies or some of the momentum thing in this album. It's kind of like a melody or a chord or a sound mass or a gesture that can remind them this kind of like experience, because like you know these tunes are long, you know, it's like 8 minutes, like
Yeah.
10 minutes or something, and I am trying to expect like, because it's hard to make people memorize your thing. I am when I compose this, I try to assume that everyone would just listen to the album once. If you can still call back like at least let's say 10 seconds of each tune, that's what I ultimately want listeners to feel like, you know. It's not like a listening experience that you're not like remember anything after you listen to it. So
Yeah.
that's my main goal for
Yeah.
sure. You know.
Totally. So, what do you like the best about being in this world of music and jazz? What do you look forward to every day? What motivates you?
Oh yeah, it's definitely other peers, like works by other peers and works by the like older generations. I used to think in a very negative way, like oh, all these people they're doing the right thing, they're so good, you know, something like that. But recently, not just like I think really started from last year. I started to transition my mindset. Like they're good and they can be very inspired. They can be an encouragement for me to like shadow an instrument more, you know, encourage me to compose more, which is not something that is happening in the media scoring industry because that's my other jobs. You know, if you read my bio,
Yeah.
um, that's something that only in jazz community can kind of like accomplish. It's like you're trying to learn from some like people you admire. You're not trying to compete,
Yeah.
like because we're not living the era of like bebop anymore.
Right.
So people are more friendly, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
which is a good thing for me,
Uh-huh.
you know. So it's really like I can learn from my peers and my mentors, and you know, that's really um, what important about jazz
Yeah,
that other form of art can't replace.
for
You know.
sure. So let me ask you this. Everyone has a perception of you. Family, friends, everyone that's a fan that gets your music, that sees you live, everyone that's a part of your process of making music. But you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
You know,
That's it.
yes, yes, you're right. Who do I think I am,
Who do
right?
you think you are? Right.
Yeah, you know, it's really funny because when I go to New York, everyone say that, you know.
Yeah, who do you think you are?
Yeah, get out of my way, man. Something like no, but I understand your question though. I understand your question.
Yeah.
I feel um, like, uh, so it's really about like my own identity, right? This question is about my own like
Yeah.
artistic view. So I really want to be that composer or that performer that can bring people's interest in jazz and maybe classical music because this album is really like piano concerto and symphonies and stuff. I really want to be the like a bridge of like capturing people's interest. Like oh, I listened to an artist called Zhengtao whatever name hard to pronounce whatever you know,
Yeah.
and and then I discovered oh he has such sound of like I hear a little bit of this, I hear a little bit of that, and then the listeners will dig deeper into that specific genre or that specific genre. You know, it's like, oh, I want to listen to something that is more technical than that. I want to listen to something that's more like bebop than that or something like that. But I can be that trigger for them, just like Steven and Miho. Because I wasn't jazz educated. You have to understand, like, most of the people outside of America, they're not jazz educated.
Yeah.
But there has to be a trigger in their life for them to discover jazz.
Yes.
And I really want to be that, like, kind of the trigger to them. Although I'm trying to make it, though. It's not really. That's just my vision, you know?
Yeah.
Who you think you are, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. That's
you
it.
know, yeah.
So speaking of who you think you are and vision, where do
Hmm.
you want to see yourself in say 10 years from now? What are you hoping happens?
Oh, um, I never. Well, I would say the only thing I want to happen in 10 years is I write and play honest music. You know,
Yeah.
I want to be honest with my art. And I want to be honest about what I can do, what I cannot do in my expression. Because right now I don't think like I'm really um, I'm trying to be honest all the time, but it's really a a very challenging thing to do, especially in art. You find out yourself repeating a lot of the things you did. It's an obstacle. I have to say, like, I just want to write and play music that sounds honest to me first,
Yeah.
and I hope the audience can get my honesty and my artistry as well. That's really what I want to accomplish in 10 years.
So, Air with Layers, if anyone wants to get a copy, stream it, anything else that's going on in your world they want to keep up with, where's the best place to go?
Oh, it's my label, Pinch Records. You can just go to Pinch Records official website to order the CD.
Okay.
And you can just search the album title to stream on the digital platform. You know.
Okay.
Yes.
I will put those links in the show notes. This has been wonderful, man. Thank you so much for
Oh,
taking
thank
a
you,
minute
John.
out today. Great to meet you, man.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
hard work.
Neon Jazz.